Hi, and welcome back to Odoo. Now that I know how to track my products, I would like to take their unit of measure into account when purchasing the items, adding them to my stock, or selling them to my customers. Some of my vendors might sell products in meters, while I need them in centimeters. It would be annoying to do the conversion each time someone buys something from Stealthy Wood, so I'll use Odoo's unit of measure feature to facilitate my work on SW's stock. I need cloth to produce some of my goods, but the problem is my vendor provides it only by rolls of 250 meters. It's quite a big number that I need to register into my stock, and I'll lose time converting the size from meters to centimeters. But fortunately, Odoo's unit of measure feature allows me to configure my products before buying them, so the inventory app will do all of the work for me, and it will remember the conversion when someone buys the product. Such a time-saving feature. So let's see this right now in my Odoo database. All right, so here I am on my database for my company, Stealthy Wood. Now, of course, if I want to use different units of measure, I need to activate the option. I'm going to do that in my inventory application configuration settings. Now, from here, I'm going to go to the product section and activate that option right here, which I've already done. But if you need to, go ahead and do that now. Be sure you click on Save before moving forward. Now that it's activated, let's go ahead and look at our different units of measure. So I'm going to click on the Smart button right here. Okay, and I have some different common units of measure right here already laid out for me. Okay, so these are really common ones. As I said, I have days, hours, units, centimeters, liters, and much more. All right, and I also have some basic categories as well. So I have 5 main categories: working time, unit, volume, length, and distance, and also weight. Okay, I also have the possibility to manage these categories as well, because as you can see from this menu, it's to manage just our units of measure. But to manage the categories, we simply have to go to Configuration, UOM Categories. We can modify ones that already exist, or we can create a new one. All right, but I'm happy with my categories. So let's go back to that menu we were just looking at. Let's look at one of our units of measure. So I'm going to check out my meter. Okay, so I have set it to, the name is M. But if I want to, I can say meter here. However, I like it the way that I had it before. All right, I also have my category set. So this is a length or a distance. If I need to, I can change that here. Okay, and then I have a type. So my meter is going to be the reference unit of measure for this category. Okay, so you will have one reference unit of measure for each category, because of course, if you have multiple units of measure in a category, you need to know how large it is compared, or how small it is compared to the reference. Okay, so if it's smaller or larger than the reference, you can select that type here as well. Once you do, you'll have an additional field, ratio, which you see right here, okay, because we do need to find how much larger or smaller that it is in the reference, and this is especially important when Odoo automatically converts some measures for you, so be sure you have that configured correctly, okay, and we have this equation if you need it, okay, but I'm going to leave this as the reference, so once I mark that again, it disappears, that field disappears. All right, we can also say if this unit of measure is active. We also have our rounding precision, which we can modify right here as well. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's look back at our list and select another unit of measure that's in the same category. All right, so I'm going to look at my centimeter. Of course, the type is smaller than the reference unit of measure. Okay, and here I've also defined the ratio. So I said it's 100 times smaller. All right, so again, that's really important. So be sure you have all of your units of measure correctly set based on the reference point, okay? And then I have my rounding precision as well. But what I'm going to do now actually is create a new unit of measure for this category. All right, as I mentioned before, I need cloth to produce some of my products. And one of my vendors sells me some cloth in bulk. They actually sell it to me in a roll of 250 meters. So I'm going to create a new unit of measure for that 250 meter roll. So I'm going to call it roll 250. Okay. And this will be a length and a distance, okay? And I'm going to compare it to my reference point, so it's going to be bigger than the reference unit. It's 250 times larger, of course. Let's go ahead and save this. Okay, and now let's apply it to a new product and see what happens and how to do that. So I'm going to go to Master Data, Products. Let's create a new one. I'm going to keep it really basic and call it Cloth. Okay, now let's add our unit of measure. So I want to keep it on hand using meters. Okay, but as I just mentioned, I purchase it in a roll of 250. So this is where that new unit of measure that I just created will apply. So I'm going to select that right here. Okay, so for my vendor, of course, this is 1 unit. Okay, it's one roll that happens to be 250 meters. But for me, I want to divide it into each individual meter. All right. So now we're going to go to our purchase tab, and we're also going to add a vendor. Okay, I'm going to say Gemini Furniture, and they're going to sell this product to me for 100. So let's go ahead and save and close this and save. All right, as you can see from the products that I have on hand, well, first of all, I don't have anything on hand, so we're going to purchase this product. But by default, normally this will say units here. But since I changed that unit of measure here on the product template, now it says that unit of measure here as well. Okay, so it changes automatically. Let's go to our purchase application and create an RFQ for this product. Okay, so my vendor is Gemini Furniture. I'm going to purchase some cloth. Okay, we have that product unit of measure right here. Okay, so we have that information. I'm purchasing a quantity of 1. Okay, let's go ahead and confirm this and then receive the products. Now, what's really cool here is that when we go to receive the products, Odoo will automatically convert the unit of measure. So now we see the unit of measure as meters because that's how we want it on hand in our stock. All right, so I can go ahead and validate this. Okay, and then let's check out what this looks like once we actually have it in our warehouse. So here I am on the product template. Okay, so I have 250 on hand. Okay, so I purchased a quantity of 1, but since Odoo did that automatic conversion for me, I now have 250 meters on hand. So that's super convenient for me because I don't have to do that conversion myself. It's so easy. All right, so if I click on this, of course, I see where it is in my stock. All right, so let's go back to the product, okay? And I have my units of measure here. So how convenient, how easy is that? The whole process was super simple and streamlined. And all of that is done with the units of measure feature with Odoo. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.